Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. I want to talk a little bit about this Tennessee defense, more specifically the defensive line unit, Aubrey Solomon, Rodney Garner as a whole. You know, going into this season, we all know the story and how it's kind of played out. You know, last season, the defensive line was a weakness for this football team. The defense as a whole was a weakness for this football team. Enter Rodney Garner. All of a sudden, you start to get a little bit of excitement. Not necessarily that this defensive line is going to go out and dominate, but they are going to improve. Rodney Garner is a teacher, a developer of talent. We knew that this defensive line was going to improve, but just how good can they be? And through 3 games, this Tennessee defense giving up less than 16 points per game. Yes, I know some of that is the quality of opponent, but for year after year after year, Tennessee would seem to give up more than they should to teams like Bowling Green and teams like Tennessee Tech. But still, through 3 games, less than 16 points per game. But just focusing on this defensive line, because I think it is a big key for the game against Florida on Saturday. Florida, a team that's averaging, let me look it up here, averaging 340 yards per game on the ground. Will Tennessee's defensive line unit be able to contain that? Through 3 games, Tennessee giving up just 52.7 yards per game. They've got 8 sacks, a couple of those coming from the defensive backs, but also 12.5 tackles for loss. I feel like this Tennessee defensive line is starting to perform up to Rodney Garner's expectations, but Rodney Garner is one of those coaches, I don't think he's ever satisfied. And we're going to look at that with Aubrey Solomon. Going to kind of break that down a little bit. As always, do me a favor, go ahead and smash that thumbs up. If you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. Go ahead and subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live, when we drop new content. We are doing a tailgate show on Saturday. Join us at 6 p.m. Eastern, taking you all the way up to kickoff, maybe do a fan call-in show for the members of the channel. Hit that join button down below. You can become a member and also join the show. And then we will also be live immediately following the game, so tune in for that. But we're going to get into this defensive line and Aubrey Solomon. You guys want to get an advantage over your sports book, you need to head over to the App Store or the Google Play Store. Download BetQL, the only app you need to make smart bets. Their computer model scans over 350,000 unique bets per year to give you the best bet recommendation for every game across all major sports. Also gives you the reasoning behind why you should place that bet. Their model covers everything from spreads to over-unders and player prop bets. But I know how some of you guys are. You don't always listen. You want to play armchair quarterback, and that's fine. If you want to do the work yourself, BetQL has all the necessary tools for your research needs. Sharp data so you can see who the pros are backing, line movements, you can jump on betting opportunities in real time. They've also got great team summaries highlighting previous success against the spread and the over-under. So go to try.betql.co/VAWLS to get started now. Going to drop all the links in the description below, but if you use that promo code VAWLS at checkout, you're going to save 25% on all subscription offerings. They also have a deal where you can get an entire year of BetQL for free. So jump in the description below. Check that out, BetQL. So let's take this look at this article from 24/7 Sports written by Ryan Callahan. It says, veterans VAWL defensive lineman Solomon making strides coming off of season debut. After starting a combined 15 games in his first 2 years at Tennessee, Aubrey Solomon found himself in an unusual situation at the start of the season. Relegated to scout team duties. We're talking about a 5-star prospect, a guy that they just said there started a combined 15 games in his first 2 years, finds himself on scout team duties earlier this year. The 5th-year senior watched from the sideline while Tennessee played 10 or more players on the defensive line during its first 2 games. Solomon finally got an opportunity to see the field Saturday during the VAWLS home game against Tennessee Tech. A few of Tennessee's defensive linemen set out the VAWLS 56-0 shutout against the Golden Eagles, and Solomon made the most of their absences, playing extensively in his season debut. Interesting things there. What's interesting about it, again, talking about Coach Rodney Garner, comes in, he demands excellence. He demands effort. That's the big thing. Rodney Garner, you're not going to see the field. I don't care how many stars you have. I don't care what your name is. I don't care what the hype is. You are not going to get on the field unless you put forth effort. We heard a lot during the summer about Aubrey Solomon putting in the work. So what was it? Where was Aubrey Solomon during those first two games? Was he in the doghouse? Was it some type of in-house suspension? Because we heard that Aubrey Solomon was in the best shape of his life, but everybody's got their binoculars out inside of Neyland Stadium, and Aubrey Solomon was nowhere to be seen. Article goes on to say here, the former Michigan transfer finished with a team-high 6 tackles during Saturday's game, including a half tackle for loss. Defensive line coach Rodney Garner said it was a step in the right direction for Solomon, but the VAWLS preparing for their SEC opener Saturday night at number 11 Florida. There's no guarantees with Rodney Garner. You got to put the work in. No guarantee that he, again, will play a significant role in Tennessee's defensive line rotation this week. Garner said, I shared with Aubrey, he's hung in there. He's making strides. I'm proud of him for at least staying the course. Obviously, he had a long way to go when we got here. A lot of things he needed to work on. Says, but he persevered, put on the scout team. He worked his way through it, kept a good attitude, and he's just showing that he wants to be a part of the program, and that's all we want from all of them. I mean, we just want all of them to be good men. We want them to be successful in the game of football. We want them to be successful in the game of life, and that's what we're trying to prepare them for. But I was proud of him, the way he went out there, got his opportunity on Saturday. He went out there and showed up, and he performed. Did a good job for us, so hopefully he'll be consistent and do things that it takes to be able to gain and earn more playing time. I love that quote. I love this coaching staff. Let me just say that. You know, the jury's still out. Whether Josh Heupel's tenure in Knoxville works out, whether this coaching staff works out, I don't know. But I feel like they truly make you earn it. And that's why the quarterback stuff drives me nuts. People that think that there's some agenda to keep Harrison Bailey on the bench and Josh Heupel's married to Joe Milton. I think you got to earn it. I think this is proof. Aubrey Solomon, 5-star prospect, he's on the scout team. The scout team. I think this coaching staff gets it. Now, whether or not they're able to get it done, I don't know. We'll find out. Says Solomon, a former 5-star prospect, joined the VAWLS in 2019 under Jeremy Pruitt, made 9 starts in 2019, 6 more last season when he appeared in all 10 of Tennessee's games. But it was clear throughout preseason camp that Solomon was behind several other defensive linemen, and the VAWLS haven't included him in their 2 deep over the past 4 weeks. On Monday, first-year coach Josh Heupel was complimentary of the 6'5", 325-pound Solomon's performance against Tennessee Tech. All 6 of Solomon's tackles Saturday came during the second and third quarters, including his stop along with senior defensive lineman Caleb Tremblay of a third-quarter run for a 2-yard loss. Heupel said here, I thought Aubrey did some really good things. Obviously, the play behind the line of scrimmage tackle, disruptive. He's continued to get better as his investment inside of our building has become greater. Do things right outside of the game. Eventually, good things happen if you keep competing. Thought he did a good job today, or the other day, excuse me. It's interesting. It is interesting. I don't know where Aubrey Solomon was at the first 2 weeks of the season. Are we going to see more of him on Saturday? Because, again, when you throw numbers out there, is Tennessee, are they going to be able to stop this rushing attack from the Florida Gators? Again, averaging 340 yards per game on the ground. A lot of that comes from the quarterbacks. It's going to take a disciplined defensive line to contain Emory Jones. Got to stay in your pass rushing lane. You got to contain. Keep him in the pocket, but also get pressure on him. Force him to make mistakes. He'll turn the ball over. He's done it 5 times this season through the air. So while Tennessee's defensive line has been good against the rush, I feel like they struggled against Pickett when they played Pitt. They let him make plays with his feet. They let him get outside the pocket. I said the same thing about the Tennessee Tech starting quarterback. Before he went out of the game, I felt like he made plays with his feet. Tennessee Tech never got any kind of rhythm going. They never really moved the ball consistently, but when they did move the change, a lot of that came on the legs of the quarterback. So this defensive line has a huge challenge in front of them on Saturday night in the Swamp, hostile environment, mobile quarterback. Will they be able to get the job done? Will Aubrey Solomon, has he earned his keep? Is Aubrey Solomon going to work his way back into the 2 deep? Because you're going to need to be able to rotate guys, keep guys fresh. They're going to have to be able to get some type of a consistent pass rush. Garner said it's not given, so that's the thing. That's my message to them every day. They earn it. It's not a right. It's not a birthright. Just because you came to Tennessee, there's no guarantee you're going to play. You got to go out there every day. You got to work hard. You've got to earn that right. Leave me a comment, guys. Let me know what you think of this article, because I know as much as we argue about the quarterbacks, do you feel like this coaching staff is making their players earn it? Whether that's the quarterback, whether it's Aubrey Solomon, a 5-star that started tons of games for this football program, found himself on the scout team. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. More content coming your way this week. If you have not done so yet, please smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Make sure you go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin' VAWLS Network. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin' VAWLS. I'll drop the link to all that in the description below. Again, live on Saturday before and after the game. But help us out. Do us a favor. Hit that like button. Leave us a comment. And share these things out. When you see us promote the videos, help us grow the Talkin' VAWLS Network community. If you share out the links, post them on Facebook, post them on Twitter, retweet it. Any and all support's greatly appreciated. That's going to wrap it up for this one. This is the Talkin' VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.